Duolingo just had a phenomenal year. For the first time ever, they crossed over $500 million in revenue, a massive jump from where they were a year before. They're sitting on a huge pile of cash with zero debt. They grew their daily active users by tens of millions of people. And to top it all off, the board authorized a huge stock buyback. By all logical measures, this is a company that is absolutely crushing it. The stock should have soared. Instead, it crashed. It plummeted by around 20% at its last earnings. This is perfect, undeniable proof that the stock market is irrational. And today, I'm going to prove to you that raw emotion, not cold hard logic, is secretly driving the price of your stocks. I'm going to show you exactly why this happens, not just to high growth stocks like Duolingo, but to giants of the industry. More importantly, I'm going to break it down into 3 simple rules. By the end of this, you won't just understand why the market acts so illogically, you'll know how to use its irrationality to your advantage. All right, let's get into the evidence. Let's jump back into Duolingo's recent earnings. What the company reported was, by any objective standard, incredible. They beat revenue expectations, they showed massive growth in users and subscribers. So logically, the stock should have gone up. Instead, the market panicked and the stock collapsed by nearly 20% in after-hours trading. Why? It came down to one little word: guidance. The company announced a brilliant long-term strategic choice to reinvest in the user experience to grow their user base even faster. This meant that for the next year, their profit margins would be slightly lower than what Wall Street had predicted. That's it. That's the reason for the crash. This isn't an isolated incident. We see this emotional reaction all the time. Look at the tech giants, Microsoft and Amazon. In recent earnings reports, both companies posted strong results, with huge growth in their cloud divisions, Azure and AWS. But both stocks fell sharply afterwards. The reason? They announced massive increases in capital expenditures, billions of dollars to build out the infrastructure for artificial intelligence. All their current success was thrown out because of fear about the future cost of winning the AI race. And this irrationality works in reverse too. Take Walmart. For a massive, slow-growing retailer, its stock is often priced at a very high premium, sometimes trading at a price-to-earnings multiple of over 45. Why? Because when investors get scared about the economy, they tell themselves a story. The story is that Walmart is safe. It's a defensive stock. That narrative of safety causes people to pile in, pushing the price to levels that the company's actual growth doesn't really justify. Now, let's talk about the 3 rules of market irrationality. The first and most important rule is that the stock market doesn't grade a company on what it actually does. It grades on what it does relative to what Wall Street expected it to do. Think of it like a report card. Duolingo came home with straight A's. Record revenue is an A. Massive user growth is an A. But Wall Street analysts, the people setting expectations, weren't just expecting A's. They were expecting A++s. They had modeled even higher margins for the next year. So when Duolingo said, hey, our growth will be fantastic, but our profit margins next year will be slightly less than your expectations because we're investing for the long haul. The market didn't hear smart strategic investment. It heard slowing growth. It heard we're missing expectations. All the phenomenal current results were thrown in the trash because the forecast for the next year wasn't perfect. The story they had in their spreadsheets. All the phenomenal current results were thrown in the trash because the forecast for the next year wasn't the perfect story they had in their spreadsheets. This isn't logical. It's emotional. It's the feeling of disappointment when you expect a perfect score and only get a great one. This proves the market isn't some cold calculating machine. It's driven by human emotion. And the gap between expectations and reality is where that emotion lives. This leads directly to the second rule. The market has the attention span of a gnat. It is obsessively focused on the next 3 to 6 months, while great companies are building for the next 10 years. Think about Duolingo's situation. Leading up to this report, investors' feelings about the company's incredible past growth had driven the stock price higher and higher. That excitement, an emotion in itself, created sky-high expectations for the immediate future. So when Duolingo made a calculated trade-off, sacrificing a few points of profit margin in the short term to grow a much larger, more dominant company in the long run, the market didn't see smart, long-term thinking. It only saw the next 2 quarters. The stock had been priced for perfection based on past emotions, and when the future guidance wasn't perfect, the emotion flipped, and the investors hit the sell button, completely ignoring the massive long-term prize. And this isn't just a Duolingo thing. We saw it with Microsoft and Amazon. Both companies are making a strategic decision to spend hundreds of billions of dollars combined to build out their AI and cloud infrastructure. This is a move designed to lock in business and ensure dominance for the next decade. But this meant guiding for much higher capital expenditures over the next 12 months. The market couldn't see the long-term prize of AI leadership. It only saw the short-term cost and the impact on profit margins, pushing the stock down in response. This all ties into our final rule. In the short term, the market is driven by stories and narratives, and fear is a much more powerful story than steady, logical progress. With Duolingo, the actual numbers were beautiful, but the story that took over was growth is slowing down. For Microsoft and Amazon, even with stellar cloud growth, the narrative became their AI spending is out of control and will crush their profits. That narrative became more real to investors than the data itself. Once a negative story gets its hooks in, it can be incredibly hard to shake, no matter how strong the business actually is. This happens all the time. Think about a company like Walmart. For years, the story was that it was a boring, slow-growing retailer. Then, when the market gets scared, the story can instantly flip to Walmart is a safe, defensive stock, and its valuation gets pushed to levels that don't really make sense for its growth. The narrative, not just the numbers, drives the price. We see it with volatile stocks too. The price swings wildly not because its business fundamentals change from day to day, but because the story changes. One month, a narrative about a new technology sends a stock soaring. The next month, the story is about competition or regulation, and the stock crashes. Human beings are wired for stories, and in investing, the stories of fear, of what if, and of the party's over are often the most powerful. Duolingo's plunge wasn't a logical reaction. It was a surrender to a negative narrative. So, the story of Duolingo proves it. The market isn't a logical weighing machine, at least not day to day. It's an emotional voting machine driven by fear, greed, and the obsession with the immediate future. So what's the lesson here? The key is not to try and predict the market's irrational mood swings. You can't. The solution is to recognize them for what they are. Understand that these emotional fits are a feature of the system, not a bug. When a great company that you believe in gets punished for making a smart, long-term decision, that isn't a signal for you to panic. For a long-term investor, it's an opportunity. The market's irrational fear is what allows you to buy wonderful businesses at prices that don't make logical sense. Your job is to focus on the business. Is it growing? Is it profitable? Does it have a strong balance sheet? i.e., is it safe? If the answers are yes, then the day-to-day craziness of the stock price is just noise. So to summarize, the market is not rational. Things go crazy every single day. Find a company that you have conviction in, learn the story, and make sure the fundamentals make sense, and then hold on for the long haul. If you want to learn more about how to find these great companies and build the conviction to ignore the market's noise, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notifications for more videos just like this one. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.